Good morning to you. It is Thursday, February 12th. I'm Elizabeth Hasselbeck. A Fox News alert. While you were sleeping, Marines guarding United States Embassy ordered to destroy their weapons and abandon their post. And just wait until you hear what the State Department had to say about it.
Yeah, just wait. Then, emotional testimony in the American Sniper murder trial. What we're now learning about Eddie Ray Ruth's condition right before he murdered Chris Kyle. You're not going to believe it. What did the VA know? And did they release him too soon? We'll tell you.
All right, plus, a student gets in trouble for ending the morning announcements with the words, "God bless America." Should the school have caved to atheists? We report, you decide. Just watch in a second, our heads will float, but mornings are better with friends.
Hi, this is Brooklyn Decker, and you are watching Fox and Friends.
Hi, everybody. Welcome live from New York City, Studio E. It's time for Fox and Friends on this Thursday morning.
Special thanks to Brooklyn Decker. That was live. Now she can go back to bed.
Fantastic. Right. Well, we start this morning with the news that the President of the United States has finally asked the U.S. Congress. What he's done is he sent over a draft resolution with some particular and peculiar in many ways language, asking for permission to do more to kill off ISIS.
Keep in mind, this is 6 months after we've been bombing ISIS, and this contractually some worry that really puts into code and word legally handcuffs for our military generals moving forward. It has a ton of limitations in there. Limits military action against ISIS to 3 years. Again, a timeline we see on war there. Geographic questions as to where the military can actually move forward. Limits military action to countering ISIL-associated forces. And apparently there's question as to whether or not it repeals the authorization of force from 2001 to 2002.
Yeah, most likely that would be a repeal, but in the big picture, it seems like a political document rather than a military document. And the question for Republicans, is this the plan to win? And for Democrats, they get worried, well, is this just going to be another perpetual war? Where the president says, I don't want to do Afghanistan, I don't want to do Iraq. I'll give you a three-year war where we only will use special operations. And this is the term that has Democrats and a lot of Republicans, and maybe you at home, wondering what this means. Enduring offensive ground combat operations.
What does it mean? And define enduring.
Yeah, a lot of people say
enduring.
Okay,
that's 18 months.
Oh gosh. Watch the president try to explain it himself.
The resolution we've submitted today does not call for the deployment of U.S. ground combat forces to Iraq or Syria. It is not the authorization of another ground war like Afghanistan or Iraq. I'm convinced that the United States should not get dragged back into another prolonged ground war in the Middle East. That's not in our national security interest, and it's not necessary for us to defeat ISIL.
It is just, hey, I just want to tell you I'm not George Bush. That's what it sounds like. I'm not going to give you Afghanistan. I'm not going to give you Iraq. We're not going to get in a long war about the Middle East. Well, you just tell me what your objective is and how you plan on doing it. Don't tell us what you're not going to do.
Some are concerned this is actually a contract for the enemy. You know, that this is actually going to make it more difficult to actually win and come out victorious against ISIL long term.
The big question is, and we've heard this president say, you know, it's going to take years to kill off ISIS. Well, then why is he talking about 3 years? Karl Rove wonders what that 3-year business is all about. He was on the record last night.
He has a 3-year time limit. Why? What's magic about 3 years? Well, it gets it into the next presidency. But putting a time limit on these could be dangerous. This is cosmetics. This is to be able to say to his left-wing base that I'm being true to my progressive roots. I'm the man who came to end wars, not to win wars. And everybody goes home happy.
You know, you have a Secretary of Defense who's leaving any day now, and Chuck Hagel there, and you have a Chief of Staff there. I don't see any military presence. Your Secretary of State, Kerry, is that the military presence? Where retired General George Allen, is this his plan? We just seem to be doing everything backwards. 6 months into a war or an offensive operation with 1,900 sorties over the course of 16 months. I just wonder what the strategy is to be successful. Start with telling us what you want to do, and then tell us what you want to do, how you want to do it. Don't tell tell us what you're not going to do and when you're leaving.
Right. I think the concern is that this now puts this sort of vague approach to ISIS and terrorism into some law, which will just prohibit our military generals and officials from doing the job and defeating, really destroying ISIS.
You know, what's curious is the president has said all along that the Constitution gives him the authorization, and then he said that the military force things from 2001, 2002, he's in the clear. So clearly what's going on here is he just wants political cover. He just wants for his military strategy. When you think about it, it probably would be better if they just continue to operate under what they have right now than handcuff the military with this new thing.
With the new document. And the Americans are not having it. Steve, to your point, you know, right now there's a new Fox News poll released yesterday, and it said that Americans do not believe, 73% of voters say the White House doesn't have a clear strategy for defeating ISIS. How unsettling is that? And that includes 54% of Democrats don't think that President Obama has a clear plan.
Right.
Amazing.
A lot of times you get leadership in before you make the announcement to tell everyone, feel them out and say, what do you think about this? What do you guys think about this? Am I going to have a hard time passing this? Instead, they get sprung on it, and you have Adam Schiff on the Democratic side unhappy with it, and Speaker Boehner saying there's too many questions about continuing the same way we were doing it. I don't think it's going to happen. With Senator McCain, with head of Armed Services, Republicans in charge in the Senate, they're demanding a strategy. Well, they were demanding a strategy.
Just because the White House sent to the Congress draft resolution language, that doesn't mean that's what Congress has to pass. Congress can add all the stuff they want to, so let's hope there are some changes made. In the